Jim Klauck here on the Beach Money Podcast. And on this podcast, we talk about how you can live a beach money life. And I get to talk to great people like April Brumm and how she lives the beach money life. And I think she's going to tell us a little bit today on how wonderful that is and how she can help other people as well live that beach money life. April, how are you?
I am doing wonderful. We are warm and toasty down here in Georgia.
It's been a hot summer, and well, in Georgia, it's always hot in the summertime.
Exactly. We just stay inside and make sure our power bills get paid.
Yeah, that's the truth. Well, thank you so much for joining me today here on the podcast. And Jordan and I wanted to get you on the program to talk about how you live such a rich life, not necessarily financially, but just a rich overall great beach money life. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your family life, your husband and your children?
So thank you so much for having me. I'm so flattered that Jordan thought enough to invite me on. Jordan is just awesome. I have met him in person quite a few times. I'll tell you, the first time I actually literally ran into him, which was a really funny story, but I've been a stay-at-home mom for 22 years. My husband flies for the airlines. He was a Navy pilot first, and then he started flying for the airlines. My two sons, they're 19 and 21, and one of them is a pilot. So I will continue my free flying even after my husband retires. That was a nice little retirement program that we didn't intend on. My other son is in college as well. He's majoring in forestry. So I literally have one on the ground and one in the air. I have always been a people collector of sorts. Mm-hmm. I didn't really know that was a thing when I was a lot younger, and always had people around me. My inner circle is very small and tight. But I know everyone. I make it my business to know everyone. Because everybody has needs, everybody has goals and dreams. And usually if I can make the right connections for someone, then someone meets the person that they need to meet to make their goals and dreams come true, which is really kind of cool how God works that out. And he has placed me in so many perfect positions at different times in my life. And I believe that if you prepare and are ready for any of those situations, God will put you in those situations a whole lot faster. And that helps people around you become more successful faster as well. So I've always enjoyed being around people, and they fuel me. And I just think everybody needs a smile, and smiles are catching. So why not give them away?
I agree. So you're that person who's the nucleus. You're a connector, as they say, a people collector, which is interesting because I've used that terminology before when I've met people who seem to just collect people and put them in the Rolodex. And for you young people, a Rolodex was this old a mechanical tool that you would write people's name in or put their business card in and be able to refer to. Today, we put them in our phones or some other CRM type program to reference and to, reconnect with people. I know Jordan Adler is a huge connector. I'm actually a big connector as well. That's one reason why I'm doing this podcast with you today, April. And when you can be in that position of influence, because that's really the position you're in a position of influence where people know, like, and trust you. They come to you probably for a lot of different reasons. Like, do you know a good CPA? Can you find someone to help me mow my lawn at my house down the street as your neighbor? Or can you help me with connecting with people through a greeting card?
Right, exactly. So my mama taught me that everyone needs to feel loved and made them feel seen and heard and feel like they matter. She always made a big deal of birthdays. I'm 54 and she still makes a big deal out of my birthday, which is totally fine with me. Mine's at the end of a month, so I just celebrate all month long.
Why not?
And so, right, exactly. Obnoxiously so. But, it helps me to love other people, because when you share your birthday with people, they tell you when their birthday is.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can put that in your Rolodex, and you can always make them feel special when you put the focus on other people. And that's what Jordan teaches us all the time. If you go back and find Jordan on any social media channel, you will find him teaching people how to make other people feel special and feel heard. And so sending greeting cards is fun, but it's tedious if you don't have a good system. And so that's how I met Jordan. Is we use the same little trick system to send greeting cards super fast. Like we race sometimes. I've got it down to about 47 seconds, but I think he's faster if he sends a postcard.
Wow, that is fast. And
It's
so why
fun.
don't you explain to everybody this process? For those of you who aren't familiar with Send Out Cards, it's a fantastic vehicle to personally touch people in a way that more people aren't doing anymore. Back when we were young, April, okay, just a few years ago, the internet didn't exist. People had pen pals. They sent postcards, always sent a postcard from their vacation in the Bahamas back home, right? Everyone always did that.
Right.
Now, today, everything's instant with social media. But what's really nice about a product like Send Out Cards, when you're sending a postcard, you're sending an actual greeting card in an envelope, or maybe you're sending something sweet like brownies or cookies or, whatever you can do
We
through
do
Send
have
Out
good
Cards,
stuff.
right? You're doing something that people aren't doing anymore. So you're going against the grain in a good way, because people still have to go to the mailbox every day to get their bills
Sure.
or whatever they're getting, their junk mail. And it's really the best piece of mail they're going to get in that mailbox.
Right, right. So I think that this was something that I used as a service. Again, being a stay-at-home mom, we don't look for things to do. We have plenty of things to do, because when people know that you don't have a job to go to, you get to do all the things that they don't have time to do. And that's fine. I don't mind at all. Like, I'm a doer. Like, just give me a job and I'll get it done and do it. And so that part is great. But being able to do this will maximize your time doing anything else. So a really good example actually just came in the mail yesterday. This is an aerial photo of LAX. And my husband was flying out there the other day, drop off a whole load of passengers. And he has the app on his phone. And so I get this in the mail and it says, thinking of you flying into LAX, love you.
Oh.
And I get mail from him all the time. Yes, I see him all the time, but it's just so much fun to know at 30,000 feet who he's thinking of. So I actually mentioned that the other day on one of my Instagram reels. And I had a marriage counselor text me and say, can you tell me about what you just said? And it never occurred to me that this is a use. So now she's going to introduce this to her clients to give them some glue to just sort of little messages, right? Like, isn't that just a cool, like, my brain was just like, this is so cool. A great way to use it.
April, you are saving marriages across the nation. No, but seriously, it's these little things. And so for all of you who are watching this, who are like, wait a second, her husband's a pilot, he's flying, he's busy. Does he really keep a stamp and this card in his pocket? It doesn't work that way. It's very simple. He can do it all on his phone.
Yep.
And Send Out Cards does the rest, but it really looks like it's coming from someone personally with a stamp on it that looks like
for sure.
put a stamp on it, and it looks like someone hand wrote it.
We're one of the only companies that gets to do it like this. You can see the little indicia. Yeah. It actually says Send Out Cards, changing lives one card at a time. It doesn't say Salt Lake City. And to be clear, my husband actually mailed this when he got on the ground. He did not do this from the cockpit.
And you say mailed, but it was really executed and mailed out of Utah.
Exactly.
Not LA.
He just clicks the send button on his phone. And that night, they upload all the cards that were sent that day, print them, and mail them. So beach money comes into play when you get to do this for someone else. And like I said before, I'm a stay-at-home mom, right? So I wasn't looking for something to do. But my real estate friend that sold a house up the road from me for way more than it was worth several years ago, I sent her a card of the house and said, we have a card in our catalog that says, way to go, fancy pants. And so I sent her that card with a box of brownies. And I was just thrilled that she helped raise our, not that I'm going anywhere anytime soon, but I was just thrilled that she made our houses more expensive, right?
Sure.
So she said, she calls me up, she goes, how'd you do that?
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I send so many. Jordan teaches us to send 5 or 6 a day. Just do it. Don't think about it. Just do it. And you'll see more and more opportunities. So I was like, what are you talking about? I forgot I even sent it to her.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, the brownies and the card in the house. And I was like, oh, that's just off my phone app. She goes, I'm on your street. I'm coming over.
And how can I do it,
okay.
right? How can I, as a realtor, do it? Because she needs to be able to do this for her clients.
Yep. So that's where Beach Money comes in. It was not my intent. But when she saw this and realized she could stand out and be different by being more loving, I sent her my link, not even knowing what I was doing. And when she started sending cards, they started sending me money. And I was like,
whoa,
hey, watch this.
Beach money.
And for me, so there's a lot of people, it's airplane money. It's beach money for Jordan. It's golf money. It's whatever the thing is that you don't want to have to use your budget for. So mine has changed over the years. The first year or two, it was missionary money because I was able to send and support my friends. I have 6 friends that are full-time missionaries all over the world. When I can say to them, what do you need this month? They're like, well, our car is broken and we need a $500 repair. Okay, here.
Wow.
You don't think about it. Now it's flight fee money because my kid is becoming a pilot.
Yeah.
So, but because it has increased over the years, we didn't have to choose between missionary money and flight fee money. You just keep giving. And God just keeps opening those doors of opportunity. And now I have 1,100 people that are part of my daily paycheck.
Yeah.
What? How did that happen? It's insane. And so now I'm actually teaching other people, because the other thing Jordan teaches us in Beach Money is to not have one stream of income, to have many.
So how does that work? So what does that look like, April?
When I meet a new missionary, I ask them things. What are you good at? Are you good at making sourdough? Are you good at cooking in another country where other people don't have the things that we have, like DoorDash and Instacart? What are you good at? And I can teach them how to create PDFs and journals and planners, and then turn those into landing pages and then sell them online. It doesn't matter where in the world they are. And then I can, just yesterday, Mediterranean Baptist Mission sent out 25 gratitude cards to their donors. They have a seminary in Egypt. An American cannot just walk into Egypt and go do things religiously, but natives can. Sure. Because it's not illegal that way. So all sorts of missions can further their footprint with thank you cards to donors, which, by the way, if you're standing in the middle of Pristina, Kosovo, there's no card stores. You can't just go get a greeting card and send it to your donor and say thank you.
Yeah, you're right.
But you can do it if you have the app on your phone. So little things, teaching them to take their skill that they already have and turn it into a little income stream. And then they go teach somebody else how to do the same thing. Then because it's always been something has always bothered me, that it's always been sort of an understood thing that missionaries should be poor.
They shouldn't be,
Why
but
do they have
often
to
are.
Completely, it's ingrained a little bit though. But if they learn to use their skills to create lots of little streams of income, yes, they still need to rely on donors. Yes, they still need to rely on people doing the sending, but they can also empower the people around them as well. It's just such a neat circle, and yeah, when you can do this to somebody and say, hey, you're the best, and just, let them know the colors are cool. I love checking my mail every day. It's so fun.
Yeah, it's really exciting because you're helping so many people in so many ways, but you're also helping yourself, April. I'm not talking just the financial part, but when you give and you feel gratitude, it's very healthy for you. You will live longer and be happier if you get excited about giving someone something from your heart. And that's what you're doing with the cards.
Absolutely. When you're not producing as much cortisol, that stress hormone,
Oh,
your
so much better.
inflammation goes down. I had shoulder surgery on May the 9th, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, it's going to be forever. You're not going to be able to sleep in the bed. You're going to have to sleep in the recliner forever. And I'm like, really? Like, I did underestimate it a little bit because I'm not just glass half full. I'm like, the glass is running over and everything's going to be great. Like, I'm always, there's no room for negativity because I'm just like so sure that everything's going to be fine. And so everybody was like, oh, it's an 8 to 12 week recovery. And I went, well, not for me. Like,
That's
you
for
haven't
other
met
people.
me. Right. That's for weak people. And so it turns out I'm old and it is an 8 to 12 week recovery. I got sat down a little bit on that one, but I'm not nearly as behind the curve as I would be if I did not have all the stress and all the, and I don't eat sugar. I don't, I'm not one of those granola people, but I do avoid things that I know are going to have long-term negative effects on my body too, though.
Good for you. Probably lots of vegetables and fruit and lean meats, possibly, right? I mean,
I do. And we live in Georgia, so my kids are hunters. So we have good lean deer meat down here.
Good, good. What's your advice to people out there who either are stay-at-home moms or dads, or people who have a regular W-2 9 to 5 job, but they want to get started in a business on the side where they can help other people and themselves? And I'm really pushing toward the whole send out cards idea, obviously. Can you explain how they would, get involved with this and how it helps their lives?
Oh, sure. So the quickest and simplest way, and this right now is one of our big pushes because it's back to school time. And mercy knows these teachers do not make nearly enough, at any point in any city. But we have a quick and simple way to get started that anyone can do because anyone can think of 10 people. So somebody says to me, well, I don't know 10 people. Sure you do. Do you have any cousins, uncles, aunts, relatives, neighbors, your pastor, your kid's teacher? Like I can find you 10 people. And with the internet, you can find their addresses. And so it's called the 10 card challenge because everybody loves the challenge, right?
Yeah.
So the 10 card challenge is 10 cards. You got 20 days to do it. And we'll even cover the postage and it's $20. That's it. You can fall in Walmart and spend $20 before you even put anything in your cart.
Oh, yeah.
And so the affiliate, this is where the beach money comes in. These are the people that are, you just said the 9 to 5ers that want to do something a little extra. I'm never one of those people that says, oh, you can do this and you'll be able to quit your job by Friday. Some people love their job. My husband loves his job. Why wouldn't you love flying a $90 million airplane around when somebody else is paying for the gas? He loves his job. And my son loves what he does. So some people love what they do, but they just want to do a little extra, make some of that beach money. So when someone takes the 10 card challenge for $20, the affiliate makes $10 every time.
Ooh.
Isn't that so fun?
That's
and
awesome.
So let's say I just met yesterday with our World School here in McDonough, and they are a special needs school. So he's going to take the 10 card challenge, but he's also entertaining the idea. He says, wait, this could be a good fundraiser. We could let our parents and community know that if they take the 10 card challenge and we're the affiliate, we would earn $10 every time somebody took the 10 card challenge. So in other words, the school earns $10 because someone is blessing 10 people. It's not like selling candles, sheets, or wrapping paper, which is our typical fundraisers.
Typical.
You get to bless 10 people. And so to answer your question, that's the simplest, easiest way to get started. But if someone came to me, stay-at-home mom, and she was like, I'm not good at anything, I guarantee you, give me 10 minutes, I'll find something she's good at. And then I can teach her how to teach someone else that skill. Because if you just impart, it's kind of like a fourth grader can teach a first grader something, and a seventh grader can teach a fourth grader something. And that method actually comes from the Bible. In Titus 2, the Bible teaches the older women to gather up the younger women and teach them. That's how things got progressed in those days when there wasn't internet. You teach someone something you just learned. And so Jordan will tell you he's been learning a lot about online marketing since the pandemic, right? Because we all had to get real good at online marketing. And so he's been teaching us that every Monday night. And he learns something, he'll turn around and teach it to us.
Sure.
And that's the best way to keep it going. And so if a stay-at-home mom comes to me and she's like, I need to make some extra money by Friday, I'm like, great, let's talk. Because I guarantee you I can find some nugget, some jewel that the Lord has imparted to her that someone else in her life doesn't know. And she can teach that to that person. And when you do that, then you start to become a people collector. And when you make those connections and send thank you notes and somebody says, how'd you do that? And you so simply and easily. Is this easy? No. Is it simple? Absolutely.
Yeah. Nothing of any value is generally easy.
Right.
There's effort, but there are many simple things that can help you with your health, with your wealth, with your relationships. But quite honestly, a lot of people don't want to put the effort in. That's why they don't eat well. It's easier to actually eat poorly, but it's not hard to eat well.
Oh, listen, opening up a Pop-Tart is a whole lot easier.
Yeah. Hey, April, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for your time today and imparting all this great information and knowledge on everyone and in what you do and how you help people and how other people can help people. I'm going to put April's information in the description of this podcast, in the notes, as well as Jordan's. Reach out to them and they'll be able to help you with anything you need in this type of world of send out cards, which I have been involved with for some time. I've used it in my business more so than personal, and it really can make a big impact. April, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
You're so welcome, Jim. Thank you for having me.